Hello, Trekkies and Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host Orinda, and together with Amanda Hopper, I recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapped in chronically following. We will approach each episode with humor and a feminine look. Today we recap the episode Time Squared. While the Enterprise is en route to their planet destination, ship sensors detect a lone shuttlepod drifting through empty space with no power or fuel reserves. When Lieutenant Worf and Commander Riker use the tractor beam to bring it on the shuttle bay, they find it has the same name and registration as an Enterprise shuttle. Inside is a double of Captain Picard, barely clinging to life. After the double is brought to sickbay for treatment, Lieutenant Commander Data and Chief Engineer LaForge power up the shuttle after lengthy delays due to unexpected technical incompatibility. It is then discovered that the shuttle's internal clock is about 6 hours ahead of the ship's chronometer, which means that the shuttle, and therefore Picard's double, is from 6 hours into the future. They recovered a very poor quality sensor log video that shows the Enterprise falling into an energy vortex and being destroyed after the shuttle is launched. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Pulaski determines that the incoherent double's biological functions are out of sync, but are improving as the future Picard draws nearer to his own time. Picard orders that his future self to be revived, but is unsuccessful in extracting any information from him. Picard is disquieted at the idea that he would abandon his ship and his crew. As the crew members debate their option, they decide to continue on their current course. They are suddenly stopped by the vortex seen in the shuttle log and are unable to escape even with the engines at maximum output and become drawn further in. They send a probe into the vortex, which is immediately destroyed. Scans emanating from the vortex appear to focus on Picard, and the energy beam strikes him, leading him to theorize that there is an intelligence controlling the vortex which seems to be interested in him personally. And that is double left the ship to draw its attention. Picard's double, now almost completely aware and coherent, sets out to leave the Enterprise as he did before. Picard follows him, asserting that there must have been another option. Through the double only mumbles about it being impossible, as moving forward would have presumably destroyed the Enterprise. As the double is boarding the shuttlepod, Picard proclaims that the circle will be broken and kills him with a phaser. Dr. Pulaski, wordlessly examining Picard's doubles with a tricorder as Chief O'Brien stares in shock. Picard returns to the bridge and orders the Enterprise fly straight into the center of the vortex. The Enterprise comes through the other side into normal space, and the doubles of Picard and the shuttlepod disappear. The Enterprise resumes its course. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Still got my cold, as you can tell by my voice. Still a bit criggly. It's not as bad as it was, but still, I got it still. Yeah. You think after 4 weeks it would be gone?
Hopefully, yeah.
Nope. I still got it. Oh well, whatever.
Well,
and we got snow, like I told you. We got a lot of snow, we did. That was fun cleaning that up yesterday.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
we have scheduled to record yesterday, but yesterday
Yeah.
was a little bit different than you thought how it will go, and we ended up to postpone it to today.
Yeah, because of all the mess that had to be cleaned up, and I got out late doing my papers, and then I went to the grocery store, got a few little groceries.
Well, my little puppy is today 5 months old.
Aww.
And he's
Puppy.
still growing as it's nuts, really it is. He is 5 months now and 14.5 kilos.
Woo!
Within
Getting
2
me
months, within 2 months he gained more than 11 kilos.
Holy moly!
Yeah, he's gonna be a big boy. But okay, it's he's a handful. He has his he's in his toddler's phase, as I call it.
The biting face.
No, he's not biting anymore. It's more like he is too enthusiastic when he is off the leash and there are people and dogs around. He won't listen then. You know?
No, the hyper stage.
Yeah, and he's still
kind of like somebody with ADHD.
Something like that.
Kind of like me. Yeah, like me.
But okay, it's I hope it's not going to be that forever. I don't think so, but
probably not.
No, he's still a puppy of 5 months. He's a pup till 2 years old, you know. So, yeah.
He'll grow out of it.
Yeah. He does. Some of the things he already grown out. So, and this is so. Oh my God, I can't believe this. He's going to get his first adult tooth with 5 months old. Normally you get it from 6 months old, and he's already with. He's 1 month too early.
Okay. Huh.
He is really having a growth spurt. It's from his 10th week, and I already read that. But from his 10th week, he would have a growth spurt, and oh my gosh, the last few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, he is so growing. That's absurd. Really, it is.
Oh yeah. My sister's got a pupper too, and he's probably a little bit older. And I think he's a pit bull mix, and they call him Teddy. Oh, he's cute.
But
Remy's crate training him.
Yeah.
He's so cute though.
Yeah, all puppies are cute.
Yeah, until they start biting you.
Well, luckily he only had the first 2-3 weeks when he was with us, just little, real puppy bites. And now it is really, my hands were full of little wounds because of him. But we taught him not to do that, and he's pretty good. He only bites a little like a play bite, you know. That's the only thing that sometimes happens.
Yeah.
But he still have a lot to do. There's still a lot to work on, but that's gonna be fine. And we are going
as long as you don't draw blood, you're good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just not, it's not bite, but it is like a playful bite of, okay, he just had me when we were playing. That's all. It can happen.
Oh yeah, it's a little rough.
Just a puppy thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with the recap of the episode. And my first comment is, really for the next episode, because I was looking at it this morning, which one it will be, and that is our favorite Riker's episode when his father came on to the Enterprise, and we got the stories of Dr. Pulaski and his father. So that's gonna be fun. Well, we start with the scene that Riker is putting a table together for his friends, Data, Pulaski, Worf, and LaForge. And Data and LaForge had this, like a bake thingy, cooking thingy for, so he could cook, like old school 21st century.
Yeah, a griddle. That's it, griddle.
Yeah.
It's like a round griddle or something like that.
And he was cooking scrambled eggs. And I thought it was one of his, the things that he would like to make. Pulaski didn't like it. LaForge didn't like it. Data couldn't eat it. But Worf scrambled everything in his mouth like an animal would do.
He ate it quick.
What was funny?
Eggs. Yeah, eggs are delicious.
Talking about Worf, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have shared this on my Twitter a few times and also on my Facebook. I don't know if you guys know the podcast of Conor Twinier and Dominic Keating. Last Sunday, Michael Dorn was a guest at the podcast. And it has become a real long episode. It's about more than 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Holy moly.
But it was an amazing episode with a lot of his stories, and he is so funny. But I always loved it when he is on a podcast, and I must say you can find it back on YouTube and all the other podcast providers. The Sunday before that, Denise Crosby was a guest.
Oh, cool.
And also, guys, I really recommend this podcast. There are 3 podcasts from Star Trek actors, 2 Trekkies, and, of course, people to listen for. And, of course, Gage McFadden has one. She will start, I believe, this year with her second season of it. Is Gage Investigated, Who Do You Think You Are? Yeah. Guys, really, I can recommend her podcast because she is good. She is so good. I think, of course, she has her whole team behind her, but it is so super professional. And guys, once again, our question is, give us some feedback, because if we don't know what you don't like in the episode, we can't change it. And we're still learning. So
yeah, guys, come on.
And this is feedback. And this is one of the podcasts, of course, the podcast I just mentioned of Dominic Keating and Conor Twinier, Trip and Malcolm Reed in Enterprise. They have a podcast called The Shutterpot Show. And The Shutterpot Show is really named after the episode The Shutterpot. And guys, I don't know if you know this, but they have talked about this episode in one of the first episode they did. And it was not the first one, but I think maybe the third or fourth one they did. Because in those days in the 90s, they didn't have computer simulations and they couldn't do everything on computer. So they really had to do those scenes in a freezer, big freezer. And I believe they have, they shooted that scene in the shutter pod that it is frozen for a week. And this, guys, I still can't believe they told us this, and I still can't believe they actually did this. They became actually drunk on set when they were filming this scene. Because it was so cold in the freezer, they had to have those real cold air, that you can see their breath. Normally, they do that now with computer effects. But in the 90s, they couldn't do that. So they really needed to do those scenes for real. And it was, that was the first time and the only time they really became drunk on at work. And I think not many people can say that or do that.
Yeah.
So, and the other podcast I like to tell you, recommend you, is the podcast of the Delta Flyers. And your co-host is Garrett Wang, who played Anson Harry Kim in Voyager. And we have Robin Duncan McNeil, who played Lieutenant Tom Paris. And I must say I have a little bit take them as a example, because like us, they are recapping every week an episode of Voyager. But the nice thing about this episode is they have the ins and outs of that episode. They were there. They talk about their feelings and the antidotes, and what they also do is making a lyric and a haiku and for that episode. So it is really nice to see and hear, because they have a Patreon page, and that is why I was looking into a Patreon page for us. And I must say I'm a little disappointed that I made a poll for Twitter and Facebook group, and not many people have did the poll. And the people who have reacted on it and voted, well, it was a little bit negative for us. So that is one of the reasons we have decided not to go through with the Patreon page. And of course, we do this for fun. And like I said, we still have a lot to learn. So your feedback is really important. And please do it a little bit on a positive way. Because, like I said, we still need to learn. Yeah, we always can better ourselves. And it is just, like I said always, we really like to hear about you, what you think of the episode, but also how we can change things. Or, what you think of the episode of what we are recapping. And I was saving this for at the end of the episode, but I think I can talk about this now already. Maybe you already have noticed it. I have done the intro a little bit different than I normally do. Normally I just say, okay, this and that, and this episode we're going to recap. So today I started also with the plot of the episode. So you're gonna have a little bit of a recap already of the episode, what we have watched, and then you get our reaction of it. So, yeah, let's go back to the episode, because we're talking a little bit longer than I thought about it, but okay, it doesn't matter. So, Riker is making scrambled eggs for them. And this is the first time we also hear Riker tells about his family and that he never knew his mother. And
just him and his dad.
Yeah, and what was a little bit weird, Pulaski knows his father, so why wouldn't he know about? Why wouldn't she know about his mother? And why wouldn't she tell him that?
Oh, yeah, that's true. She does know, but well, yeah.
But okay.
Interesting.
Then they get a message of Picard that the senior crew need to go come to the bridge. And yeah, they found a drifted shuttlecraft with a human life sign on board. And when they are arranged, they used the tractor beam to pull the shuttle in, and then they saw that it is the Enterprise shuttle of number 5. And so now there are 2 shuttles number 5 on board the Enterprise. Pulaski and Riker and Data went to Shuttle Bay 2, and they gonna investigate. And what happened? They found another Picard in
a
the
twin
shuttle.
Picard.
And so they were a little bit shocked. Riker was checking on Picard, and he called the bridge and asked, "Captain, are you on the bridge?" So he was very shocked in a way.
And, well, you would be too if you saw your double.
Picard is coming down to sick bay.
Shuttle Bay.
Shuttle Bay 2, yeah. And when he saw himself, he was quite shocked as well, of course. And nobody didn't know what was wrong. So, Captain Picard ordered bring him to sick bay and see what happens and if he was still alive, etc. He went to sick bay, and the Picard said to Data and LaForge, "I want the look of the shuttle because I want to know what's going on." They did. And when Data wanted to connect the shuttle to the computer so it would start up, because the whole shuttle was empty of energy, so they couldn't retrieve any logs or whatever. When Data plugged in the first time, the whole console had sparkles and fireworks and whatever else more to
it's like it was overloaded.
Yeah.
It's like if you plug a lamp. Say you plug a lamp in the wall and it explodes. Or no, wait, a radio in the wall and it explodes. That's basically the way that. Because that happened to me one time. I made a radio explode. and all the sparks and all that. That's basically the way it acts.
Yeah, so they were a little shocked, and it was a good thing that Geordie LaForge was out of the shuttlecraft. Only Data was in it. And they did something else, and they managed to power it up. And then they find out in the files of the shuttlecraft that the Picard they found in the shuttlecraft was a Picard 6 hours from them. And so, guys, I like to do this. So we have the present Picard, and we have this Picard. I will call this Picard Picard 2, so we don't have confusion.
Picard and Picard 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the files, they find also that the Enterprise would be destroyed in the next 6 hours. And 19 minutes. 3 hours and 19 minutes. So Picard have a briefing with his senior officers, and it was really strange after that, because they acting in that way that you could see they were worried. And the next thing what is gonna happen. And first, I didn't remember this episode clearly, so I thought, okay, maybe this is the episode when they were in a loophole. Remember that when they encountered the Enterprise C?
Vaguely, I remember that episode.
That episode will come still, so, but I really had that feeling of, okay, they are in a loophole and they have to get out of it. What wasn't the case, because they were in a vortex, and the vortex was a live entity, and the entity saw the Enterprise as an entity itself. And I believe they are now in sickbay, and Picard wanted to have answers, and he was pushing Picard 2.0. And Counselor Troy was annoyed with him and a little bit angry. Because she had to tell him he doesn't understand you, and get a grip. You know?
Well, yeah. Like, he's out of it. Like, he's basically drugged up, so he doesn't really know what's going on. I would assume I say he's drugged up.
No, it wasn't drugged up. It was like, it was because he was 6 hours back in time, and how more they came to the point that he is going to leave the Enterprise.
Oh, well, yeah.
He would be more coherent.
Yeah, I thought Plasky would have gave him something or something, I thought. Oh,
did you notice? This is the first time we see Pulaski worried about a patient, but also she didn't had a go with Picard. That's the first time we see her doing that.
Yeah, definitely the first time she hasn't tried to argue with him.
Counselor Troy was also telling Picard that Picard 2.0 is afraid. And I remember that the conversation between her and Troy when Picard went to the bridge about the state, mental state and emotional state of Picard, and that Picard was under a lot of stress. I don't know about you, but in this episode I like the hair and the lipstick of Troy. Normally it's always so weird hair.
Yeah. Usually she has these really weird little hairdos up and poofy and whatnot, and I can't remember what lipstick she had on. Was it red or was it a different color?
It was a bit of, it was red, but not that bright red where we always... this was normal, and this was not that
red.
bright. Yeah. It suits her better.
Okay. Yeah. Because the bright red just looked a little like, I don't know, overkill.
Yeah, it is.
Bro! Like you can see her a mile away with those lips. Like a traffic stop with a bright lipstick.
Yeah. But this is, I don't know if this is the first episode that she's wearing it like this, but yeah, normally her lipstick is very bright.
But it's been dulled down for this episode.
Maybe. So, the Enterprise, the vortex, is keeping the Enterprise in a grip, and they can't get out of it. And they tried of maximum warp about 9 point, what is it? Just warp 9, and they can't. The engine can't cope with it. So
yeah, it's too powerful. It's basically taking your car and going above a certain speed limit in your car, above mile per hour or whatever you want to call it, and having it shake like crap is like the Enterprise being in the vortex going at a certain speed and it's shaking all the crap. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. So the Enterprise is stuck. Yeah, it's really, really weird. They can't get out, so they sucked in the vortex. And it was Dr. Pulaski who notified Picard that Picard 2.0 is awake and coherent. And so Picard walked quickly to sickbay so he could get answers of Picard 2.0. Troy was feeling something, and I can't remember what, and she followed Picard to sickbay. Picard was pressing Picard 2.0 to get an answer, and he was really... this is not the Picard that we know. I really was thinking... Look, in one way I can understand, because he's the captain, and why would he leave the Enterprise and is the only survivor of that destruction of the Enterprise? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, why would he leave? Because usually the captain usually goes down with the ship, not go running away from it. That's the way it is with boats, I guess. Like, why did he take off and leave the rest of the people to die? Who knows?
I think I had a little bit of a messed up in my notes. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, Picard 2.0 was awake, and he said, I need to get off the ship, and this and that, and Picard was walking with him to the shuttle bay. little by little, Picard got a little bit of answers. I need to number my notes for next time. Oh yeah, there it is. So Picard was talking to him and wanted him to stay and tried to convince him, and that didn't work. And at the end, Picard shoots Picard 2.0. Pulaski needed to come to Shuttle Bay, and she examined him. Picard was already on his way to the bridge because he had his new orders what he could do and get out of there, out of the vortex. So he said to Riker, alright, let's go through the center of the vortex. And everyone was saying, are you sure, boss? You know? And in the meanwhile, the vortex or the entity sees what Picard is going to do, and the Enterprise escaped. Although it was a bumpy ride.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Take gravel and roll.
Yeah. I'm forgetting something. I already wanted to go to the end of the episode, but so when he was on the bridge, he told Riker to launch a one-class probe. And without nothing, the vortex destroyed the probe, and then it attacked both Picards. And right away Picard said, well, that was personal. And Picard said, well, let's fire a photon torpedo to the center of the vortex. And that one has been destroyed as well. He has been attacked again. So, at that point, Picard 2.0 was fully awake and wanted to go to the shuttle and, well, blah, blah, blah. And so it was in the end that Picard shooted Picard 2.0. And that was also Picard's order to go right through the center. So the entity could see that they wanted to leave. And at the moment that they did that, the shuttle, the second shuttle, and Picard 2.0 vanished. But we have still a little one scene before that, and that was that O'Brien was seeing Picard dead, and he was very shocked. And that was the first time. That was one of the weird things, what I was thinking, and I'm thinking that now. Why would the chief transporter have to come with the doctor to Shuttle Bay 2? He doesn't have to have anything to do with Shuttle Bay 2. Unless, and I remembered it now, in one of the next episodes we see also that Shuttle Bay 2 has a transporter. So
I think most of the shuttle bays do have a transporter system. I think.
I don't know. I know that because that was with the. There are some of the episodes. It plays a role, and I remember it was not with Q, but it was another one with Wesley. Oh, what episode was that? I can't remember what it
Data
calls.
lore? Data lore?
I think it was that, yeah. I think that it was that one. That, that lore was.
Yeah, Data chucked Lore into the transporter and shot him into space.
Yeah.
Chucked his brother into space. Wah!
Yeah. That was that one. Yeah, and then later we see Riker visiting Picard in his reading room, and I think this is one of the first time, and maybe one of the few times that we see Riker really cautious. And yeah, I don't know. He was talking a little bit with Picard, and yeah. Amanda, do you have something to add? Because this is the end of the episode.
It was an interesting episode. A little weird in some spots. I don't know if it was kind of slow pacing or not, but did you find it was kind of slow?
I don't think it was slow. It was quite. It was a nice episode.
Pace? Yeah.
But it was not my favorite in my top 10. And maybe this is a nice thing to do. And we could do that, for example, on the Patreon. But maybe, Amanda, we could do a top 10 favorite episode list.
Yeah, we can do that.
And guys, this is for you too. If you like to share your list with us, so do it, please. Cause
we want to know what your top 10s are.
So you can share that with us on the YouTube channel or the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And we that's where we're active on. So the rating of IMDb is a 7.5.
Ooh. I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I will give it a 8.
Yeah, I'll say around the same. I'll be fair and give it an 8 too.
It is like the only thing but I think you have that with every series of Star Trek. You have good episode and you have bad episode, and
then you get really bad episodes.
That's also a nice list to make in the future.
Yeah. Okay, what's your top 10 good ones? What's your really bad ones? And what ones are your super bad ones? And then what's your favorite character type deal?
Yeah. Well, my feeling with this episode was that I don't want to say they could have done more, but I would have a little bit more insight, because what do we know about the vortex? We only know about the vortex that it's keeping them in a tight grip, and it is a vortex.
Yeah, all it did was keep them in a tight grip and didn't want to let them go. What else is up with the vortex? Apparently it got a bit of a attitude problem because it shocked both Picards.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put this in the. I think this is if we say okay. The first category is amazing. The second category is good. The third category is neutral. The fourth category is bad, and the fifth category is really, really bad. I think in this way it will be 3 stars for me.
Bit of a cranky attitude on it.
Well, I don't know what your thoughts about is this. I just put those 5 categories on. Maybe we can, in following up, we can use, instead of rating, we can rate it with 1 to 5 stars, what I just said. Like,
yeah.
I have to put it in the other way around then. Like, 5 stars is amazing, 4 stars is good, 3 stars is neutral, 2 stars is bad, 1 star is really bad.
Mm.
That's also one way to do it. I don't know what you like to do, the rating what we are doing now or what I just said.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Let's keep it just with the old ones. Unless, guys, you want to see it different, then you need to tell us.
Tell us.
Well, guys, this was the end of the episode recap, and I enjoyed the episode, but it was not the best.
Mm-hmm. It was just one of those type of episodes that weren't that great.
Well, I think like I said with more of the episode, if they have a writing like this, they should have done more with it. And make it, for example, a 2-parter of it. Because there are a lot of 2-parters in TNG that are good.
Yeah, they could have done a little more with this episode. I guess, you could have easily made this into a 2-parter.
Yeah, they could.
Like this 2-part of it could be like discover what the heck is this vortex and what's up with it.
Yeah, but also and I thought Picard said that. In one way, he wants to explore it, so go deeper into the vortex. But Picard 2.0 had warned him about it. So that's why he wanted to get out of there. Yeah, I think we talked everything over, I guess.
Yep.
Is there something... I must say, I am looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, Riker and his dad.
Yep. And Pulaski.
Yeah, and Pulaski. Apparently she had a thing for Riker's daddy.
She was with Riker's dad. She had a relationship with him.
Yeah. She could almost easily been his stepmama.
Oh yeah. Crazy weird thoughts.
Oh yeah. Turns into a whole Maury Povich episode almost.
Yeah, and sorry guys, I'm already sprinting to next week. That Japanese sport, that was so stupid.
I know the outfit.
I don't mind the outfit, but maybe you know it. I come from a Japanese martial art family.
Ooh.
It is not that we are Japanese, but my father is Japanese martial arts skilled and schooled in Japan.
Nice.
And so when I saw them do that, it gobsmacked me. I was thinking, what? Okay. Look, I know there are Japanese fight sports that you need so much of a gear. But this was just almost hilarious.
Yeah, over the top. Plenty of
Not
fighting.
even over the top, but it is just weird. If you are known in the martial arts world, then this was super weird.
Yeah.
Really.
I did try Taekwondo at one point. I tried that, but it was just too hard on the feet when you're on concrete flooring to do Taekwondo when you're barefoot. Ouch. Oh.
Oh, well, that's for next time.
Yeah.
And, well, it was nice talking to you again, Amanda.
Yeah, same here.
And we see each other we hear each other within 2 weeks. Let me see, because I thought, and I need to check this. Yeah, after next episode, we have a video recording.
Holy, holy jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the 40th episode then, so we're going to have a video
Holy
recording
geez.
so you guys can see us. Oh well, everything will be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, we see you and hear you I have to say it differently. You will hear us in 2 weeks, and bear in mind, you can give us a shout out on YouTube or Facebook. Or, of course, on one of your favorite podcast providers. See you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode, we will recap the episode The Incorus Factor. I also like to tell you about my other podcast called Orinda Talks. Orinda Talk is a podcast wherein I talk about books, movies, fandom, and other geek things. You can find Orinda Talks on the YouTube channel or the Facebook group. We will see you in 2 weeks.